That was way easier than it normally is. Provided that worked, actually. I probably shouldn't be speaking too soon. Oh no, everything's loud. Okay. Mute tab. Lights on. Bits there. Where's my pliers? Pliers, those are important. Let's see, is this working? Hey, that looks pretty good. Okay, I want to, oh shit, hold on, before I do that, I have to... I can't post this to my Instagram story because my phone is already on. But you know what? That's fine. That's okay. Even if I can't post everything everywhere all at once, I at least have it all in the right place. Okay. Hello, hello, good afternoon, hello. Oh wow, that was like... Holy shit, there was more people waiting for this than I thought. Oh my god. I thought, all right, I'll just set up a timeline for 20 minutes from now. That'll be the exact amount of time I need to get my shit together. It took me 22 minutes, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, you can see my jeans a little bit under the table, but that's fine. Good thing I remembered to wear pants this time. Ah! You're doing a beast snagger right now? Hell yeah! I'm doing some beast snaggers of my own. Alright, there's all the plastic shit. And those are the instructions. Very important. The instructions are important because I need to know what I can and can't ignore. We love divesting from the beaten path here. We love doing our own thing. We love kitbashing. We love homebrew. But we need to make sure our models have the correct number of legs. Pants are indeed important. Yes, yes they are. Love the big Squig boss guy. Me too. This was the he was actually the second Squighog boy that I built from the kit. And I'm very happy with how he turned out. I got a lot of extra little bits, which I'll just hope and pray that will autofocus, and I don't think it will. So I'm gonna hold him down here. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of like extra bits that I put on here. You can see I got this big, gross, fucked up mutant arm. I pulled together a whole bunch of mechanical bits that I had left over from my Def Dread for the mechanical arm up here. I put a little rocket launcher down by his boot. And yeah, I just had a good fun time building this absolute grotesque motherfucker. The kill rig is so good? Hell yeah. The kill rig looked like I gotta be honest, I was super on the fence about a lot of the Beast Snagger range. The Beast Snagger boys. But you know what, the more I think about it, the more I'm coming around to him. Let's see, which one? Okay, I've already built the first guy. So I've got a couple of other guys to build too. Now, I do need to point out, an absolute tragedy has occurred before I get too deep into it. Hold on, where's the box? So, as we can see here, box of Squighog Boyz. Lots of rambunctious, fun little guys. So far, I've built the main one, who's this guy here. But I've also built this little guy down here, the little Gretchen riding Squighog guy, and I absolutely love him because the Squig doesn't actually have any legs. He's just got one solitary wheel. He's like the wheel guy from Kirby, and that's what I love about him. I built him, and now I've immediately lost him. I have no idea where he is. I know he's on my desk somewhere, or he might have like fallen onto the floor at some point. But I built him, and he's my favorite, and I have no idea where he is. So I'm very sad about that. Hello, hello, hi, hello, how are we doing? How are we doing this fine afternoon? Or it's morning, I guess. It'll be afternoon soon, though. Okay, I need to get my instructions up, so I'm gonna be building one of these guys. Okay, the second Squighog boy. There's not a lot of variation that he has in this one, but I think I have a few little ways. find him immediately. I need to. He's the only reason I bought the kit, to be honest. Like, I looked at all of the models that you get in the Squighog Boyz kit, and I was like, oh my god, he's... This little guy, the little Gretchen, he's adorable. I am gonna paint the Squig pink as well, to get maximum... Because it looks like the little, like... You know when, in the Kirby games, when Kirby eats a wheel, and he becomes a little wheel man? That's what little Squig got... That's what the little Squig reminds me of. And so I'm gonna paint that Squig pink horror pink. So, definitely gonna do that. Okay. I found the little face bits I made, so now I can just start chipping away at it. Hello! Hi, how we doing? Ah! Okay, let's see. Snip, snip. Oh no! And yep, that's... I'm starting to see why I might have lost the... I'm starting to see why I might have lost the Squig Gretchen, actually. Good lord. Oh! First piece. My model making process is just an elongated series of me dropping pieces onto the floor and having to bend over and make old man noises to pick them back up. So I hope that's what you're in the market for, because that's honestly all I got, really. Okay. Alright, so I've got 2 little head pieces here. Oh, I also need the tongue, I think. It's just up here. Yeah. I love how detailed these Squigs are. Like, when I was first getting into Warhammer, and like mentally deciding which faction I wanted to go with, I like the idea of the Space Marines because they're very sleek, very smooth. Like, I felt like I didn't really want to paint a faction that had a lot of, like... What would you call it? Like, grotesque muscles? Or, like, fleshy bits? But now that I've built orcs for a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm into this. Like, once... Okay, it all comes down to, like, once I got to the point where I figured out how to dry brush models, it was all over from there. Okay, this is really... I'm gonna put a tongue in his mouth here, and that's gonna be really, like, small and annoying, I think. At least you can actually see the bits you drop. I have severe vision problems. Oh no! Yeah, it's just gone. Well, I've dropped the Gretchen Squig somewhere, and so I feel like I'm feeling you there. I'm having the same problems. Probably not to the same degree, but... Okay. Okay, glue, 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 glue. I had to run the needle of that glue through a lighter before I went live. Because it was fully stuck. Like, I wasn't getting anything out. Oh, fuck. Does this just sit in there? Do I just have to, like, put the tongue in there and hope it stays? I think that's it. Another Another comrade lost to time. So true. Question, will you kitbash some dwarves? I actually really like... I really like the look of the Leagues of Votan. And I can definitely see myself picking some up someday. I think my current problem is, however... Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Just gotta hold that there to let it dry for a bit. I think my thing with the dwarves is that, well, first of all, I've already got, like, 3 armies in progress right now. Like I picked up the Leviathan set with the Space Marines and the Tyranids. The Space Marines are almost done. So I've still got a whole bunch of Tyranids left to do. And then I picked up the Orcs for, you know, as a Christmas present, and then I started making them for, like, my local store's New Year, New Army challenge. So I feel like... Oh, that was... My phone just vibrated. That was probably really loud. I apologize for that. It wasn't even a push notification that was of any worth. But yeah, I feel like I should at least finish one army before I get into the Leagues of Votann. And even then, I think the Necrons might be higher up on my priority list at the moment. If only for the fact that I've read a bunch of Necron books. I wasn't like originally a huge fan of the Necrons. Like they didn't really interest me that much. But I heard that the Infinite and the Divine was like one of the best books in the Black Library. And the one thing I heard about the book was that, hey, this is a really good Necron book, but you can also really enjoy it even if you don't know anything about Necrons. And I was like, sweet, I don't know anything about anything, so I'm gonna give it a listen. And it was a great little story about two gay robots who hate each other. It was as though the author sat down and asked himself, okay, what if Waldorf and Statler from the Muppets were eternal robots who could kill anything that they wanted, and were also forced to work together under adverse circumstances? Honestly, Book of the Year. Rock and Stone, that's exactly right. Votann players will take any opportunity to shout Rock and Stone, because they have no official catchphrases in their lore to use otherwise. Poor Votann players. Even though I'm still pretty new to the world of Warhammer, I still feel for the dwarf players. Dwarves are one of those fantasy races where it's like you either love them or you don't give a shit about them. Because like everybody I've ever met who's been a fan of dwarves absolutely fucking loves dwarves, and their enthusiasm is infectious. So give that. They got that going for them. Okay, I'm starting to see how this has all come together. Ah! Well, probably need glue, actually. Glue is probably important. Oh yes, the biggest problem with Dwarves in 40k, lack of lore. Yep. Like for one of my when I was putting together my video for the cheapest units in every army, I had to like go back and watch a whole bunch of I went back and I watched a whole bunch of like the trailers for all of the armies, just so I had some like video footage to splice in to my video. And I saw the original trailers for the Leagues of Votann. I'm like, oh my god, these guys are cool as hell. I wonder how they've evolved over time. And it's been like 2 years and they haven't got anything new, so whoops. This is a bit of a 3D puzzle I'm doing with this one. I'm like really... Oh god. Oh shit. This is a really difficult piece to put together. Like, I have to... Okay, I'm just gonna have to, like, accept the fact that I'm gonna get glue all over my hands for this one. Oh, is there supposed to be a huge hole back there? Is there supposed to be a huge hole there? I think so. I'm looking at the instructions, and yep, it hasn't told me to put anything in there yet. So I'm just gonna hold this in place for a little bit. Came across your homebrew in Itch.io. Oh hell yeah! Thank you. I'm glad the Warlock invocations are getting some love. Like that was I built those because I always felt as though, you know, Warlocks have a pretty tough time in 5th edition D&D. Like, their whole thing is that they're, like, super customizable, except they kind of lack customization options in some respects. Especially Artificers when it comes to their, what do you call it? Infusions. That's the one. I don't know, I just wanted, like, a really, I just wanted to build like a really modular way to give people some extra, what do you call it? Opportunities when it came to customizing their D&D characters. Because to me, customizing D&D characters is like, I don't know, I love it. I love building characters. I love building homebrew, and that just seemed like a really sort of efficient way to, you know, add some new customization options into the mix. Oh shit! I'm gonna do that several times, and I apologize for that. I have to grind off. There's a little bit of a. Actually, I probably don't have. There's a little bit of a plastic tag there, but that's where the riders are gonna sit, so I probably don't need to grind that down. Actually. I mean, they have the whole "the ancestors are watching" thing. Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's very Tolkien-esque. Like that's some classic dwarf shit. But it's also one of those things where like I feel like the dwarves in 40k they're still very reliant on the sort of like tropes and mythos of standard fantasy dwarves. Like, you know, they're miners. They mine things, and they have like, you know, lineage and ancestral trauma and stuff like that. So like, I feel like one of the reasons the dwarves don't have much lore in 40k is just because it's like, if you know the stereotypes about fantasy dwarves, like it seems like you've got a pretty good handle on them. And I feel like maybe they just need to figure out a way to add a bit more personality and a bit more flair. I'm actually writing from time to time in a Warlock rework. Hell yeah, that's great. You'll probably be able to pull something better together than Wizards of the Coast did with their Warlock rework. Zing! I'm still salty. I'm still salty about the. I think I heard they went back on the changes that they put forward for the Warlock in what is it, 1D&D, or like their, you know, future edition thing that they're doing. Because I remember when we first got the news of like, oh yeah, here's the rework to the Warlock class. It's like, oh okay, this is just kind of a worse Artificer, I guess. Like I could understand what they were going for. Like, the Warlock is a bit of a weird class in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. So it seemed like they wanted to standardize it a bit more, but in standardizing it, they sort of took away everything that made it unique and fun in the first place, and just kind of made it a worse half spellcaster sort of thing. I don't know. I can't remember a lot of the Warlock rework off the top of my head, but I just remember looking at it and going like, this... I don't think people are going to be happy with this. And I remember being right. Hello! YouTube user Agent Manpass. How we doing? Okay. I'm really paranoid and I want to give, like, the glue a really good chance to dry before putting anything else on it, because I always get paranoid that I'm not giving glue enough time to set together, and I'm just going to put it down and it's going to fucking explode. Well, it did that, and it didn't explode, so I think we should be good. We should be good to move on. D&D character, dwarf, cleric, paladin 90% of the time, craftsman, hell yeah. I've got a mate like that who fucking loves dwarves and plays like a dwarf paladin every time. I feel like there are like certain subtypes of D&D players out there who know what they love and just go towards that every time, and I think that's beautiful, honestly. Okay, I need pieces 14 and 13. Where are you? Right there! Like, I feel like if you're the kind of person who enjoys playing a human fighter, you're gonna play a human fighter more than once. Ow. There we go. Surprisingly, the Votan have a lot of trade with the Eldari. Hell yeah! Maybe that's what Games Workshop should focus on for the squats. Like, get a few, because like a lot of the lore and a lot of the stories in 40K are very much from an Imperium perspective. And I feel like there's a lot of interesting character dynamics you could have with, people from different factions. Like, what if a guardsman and a chaos cultist were forced to work together under adverse circumstances? What would that look like? But you don't really get a lot of opportunity for that with the humans. Like, it's very human-centric. But, like, I could definitely see some narratives being built with, like, the dwarves or the Eldari or the Tau even though I don't really know what's going on with them. Like, I feel like you could have some good opportunities for some narratives where they either collaborate or have to work together or anything like that. Because Lord knows the Necrons aren't gonna fucking do it. I checked out some of the D&D 1 stuff. I saw what they proposed for the starter ranges and wounds and just knew that, yeah. Yeah. Like, I get what they're, like, I think the D&D 1 stuff, like, it's been a while since I've checked, but when I first checked, it was still pretty early on. And, like, two Wizards of the Coast's credit, which is an incredibly difficult thing to say, but to the D&D team's credit, they've got like I think they've got a weird problem where they're trying to play catch up on the last like 10 years worth of content, if that makes sense. Like, the character classes for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons were, they've been there since the start of 5th edition. Like you've had fighter, warlock, ranger, like all of those have been baked in. But, like, slowly over time, like, monsters have become, more powerful. A lot of the new classes that have been built are more powerful. Like, there's very few subclasses in the player's handbook that can really compare with a lot of the newer subclasses from the more recent, expansions, I guess you call them. And so I think they're trying to play catch up to make the classes a little bit more even and a little bit more balanced across the board, which, will require some buffs. It will require some standardization, But I think the direction that it sort of looks like they're going is... It's not exactly nerfing things, but it is neutering them to a point. Like, one of the big criticisms with the likes of druids and rangers was that they're very thematic. Like, if you're not playing a campaign that has a lot to do with nature or forests or, like, beasts and stuff, druids are very heavily themed in that way. I just realized there's a cord running across me. I should move that. So I think they're trying to, like, standardize some of those classes to make them a little bit more applicable to any circumstance, but in doing so, they're kind of taking away some of the flavor that made those classes unique in the first place. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a while since I've checked, but, they've got an interesting scope of work cut out for them. Mike Brooks writes fun orcs who check out his stuff? Hell yeah. Is he the one that does Brutal and Cunning? I've been meaning to check out that one. I just got a new Audible credit, so I might pick that one up. I have read the Gazgul book, and I very much enjoyed that. So I enjoy orcish literature. Okay. A Dreadnought-sized Ironkin model? Hell yeah, that'll be fucking awesome, actually. I think more story with Tau would be nice. Yeah, I honestly don't know much of what's going on with the Tau. I remember I made a video, like a long time ago, where I called them Teiyu, and that annoyed a lot of people. And I'll do it again. Okay. Now, I've definitely got a few things that I can put on the limbs and arms of the Orc Rider here, but I'm going to build out the rest of the Squig's legs first, just so he can stand on his own 2 feet, for lack of a better term. So he's got rope. Okay, so now I see how he's sort of supposed to stand. That's alright. Cheers from Poland. Hell yeah! I'm doing good. Just got a fresh batch of squigs to make. Did I touch something? Did my internet die? Hello? Did something horrible happen? No, I'm still good. I just need to refresh my browser, but that's fine. Okay. Gaskell is definitely one of the strongest of the books. Now, yeah, like what I really enjoyed about the Gaskell book is that it was written from like multiple different perspectives. Like, you know, half of the book was basically you know, it was told from the perspective of Makari through the lens of Biter, the Orcish translator they had. So it's sort of one of those things like, okay, this is a thrilling story and like a good narrative, but you have no idea if any of it's true. And I think that's a really interesting way to go about the fiction, because so much of Warhammer is like hearsay and conjecture. And I think that was a really interesting sort of way to interpret that mentality. It was like, I have no idea if this entire book that I've just spent the last like 15 hours reading or listening to, if you're me. And I will never know. But all I know is that I now need to go and buy a Gaskell model. Which I did, but I don't have the box in here. No, I thought I could pull out the box for a big grand reveal, but yeah, I fucked that up. I fucked that up. Okay, so I need to put like this bit of metal on his jaw, and I don't know if there's like a proper way to do that. I think if I glue these pieces together first, because they got a little bit of a thing there, I might be able to just squeeze it around his jaw. There we go. Squig's one of my favorite parts of the orcs. Hell yeah. I had to come around to Squigs. I originally wasn't a big fan of them. Like, I remember when I was first sort of planning my army, I was like, I don't give a shit about the Beast Boys. I just want, you know, weird little guys with big guns to shoot as many bullets as possible. But now that I've, like, built a couple of orcs, I'm like, okay, I've built, like, 20 dudes with big guns. I want something else, man. Like, I want some variety. Give me those squigs. Okay, let me just put some glue there. Oh, God. This piece is so flimsy. Like, I know it probably doesn't show up well on camera, but I'm, like, terrified I'm gonna break it. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, I'm just gonna hold that there for a second. Hold that there. The lore for these guys is gonna be insane. Hell, I hope so. Like, I'm already thinking of like, I'm trying to think of like interesting ways that I can, you know, spin together some things like that. One thing I do want to like invest in for my next video is I want to get one of those, and I know this is stupid, and like it's absolutely not necessary, but I want it. I want to get one of those little like, you know, turntables you have for anime figurines, like the, you know, sort of like platforms you put them on and like spins them around to like showcase them off. I want to get one of those. I know it's stupid, and I know I don't need it, but I want it. I want it. Do you guys also play Age of Sigmar? I do not play Age of Sigmar. I originally wasn't very interested in Age of Sigmar, but I talked to some other people about it at my local Warhammer store, and apparently it's fun. Like, they were saying that it's quote unquote more fun than 40k. Like, apparently, I mean, the way that they described it was that the game 40k is a bit more technical and competitive, for lack of a better term, which I like. Personally, like, I like crunching the numbers and, you know, putting strategy above all else. But apparently the way that they described it was that Age of Sigmar is a little bit more, you know, for fun, which I can definitely get behind. So I can definitely see myself playing it sometime, but I have not invested in it yet. But I've been tempted to, because there's this one game store, you know, relatively in my area, which has an old, like, I can't remember what set it is. It's the Dominion set, like Age of Sigmar Dominion, which I think was like the Leviathan box set of the last Age of Sigmar edition, to my understanding. Original retail price, $299. They have it on sale there for $89.99. So I haven't yet had an interest in Age of Sigmar, and I haven't yet had an interest in picking it up. But that's a pretty good value box set. That's a pretty good value for, you know, well, like 50 models and like a rule book and like everything you need. So, you know what? Never say never. Very tempted. Good idea to buy some AOS orcs to kitbash them on the boys. That would be a very good idea. I hear now that they have like orcs in the old world too. Apparently those can be pretty good to kitbash as well. Don't quote me on that. I think I remember that from like a, I don't know, like an internet comment or something. So I have no idea if it's true or not. I want it. The only reason you need. So true. I'm glad somebody out there understands me. Okay. So, I've pretty much got... So the Squig's built. The Rider's mostly built. I think now we can get... Okay. So you remember how I was talking... I don't think anyone was here for this, but at the start of the stream, I was lamenting because... out of the Squighog Riders of the set, so far I've built the first one, but I've also built this little guy down here, like the mini Squig with the Gretchen on it. That was the first one that I built because he's cute as hell and he reminds me of like the, you know, in the Kirby games when Kirby eats a wheel. That's him. That's him right there. But I was lamenting because I built him, and then I immediately lost him. Do you know where he is? He's in this bag of bits. This is just a bag, like, full of loose parts. And, there he is. There he is. I found him. I found him. Why he was in the loose bag part, the loose parts bag, is a question that is entirely beyond me. But there he is. I even gave him like a cool axe. Hold on, can I like get that to focus? I cannot get that to focus. Oh wait, yeah. That's kind of focus, I guess. I want this to be the thumbnail for the stream, just me and like holding my hand in the most uncomfortable way possible. But I gave him like a little axe and everything. Because normally he would have just had like a little pike or something. That's absolutely not focusing. The king has returned. We found him. He wanted to eat the bits. God, that's exactly right. But yeah, like I went to my local store yesterday, and I've had a couple of people like recognize me at my local store, just because. I don't know, I'm a guy on the internet, and I make videos about orcs. And so one of the guys who, like, you know, worked at the store was like, hey, you want to check out our bits box? And he just showed me this tub full of, like, spare parts, or, like, rejected pieces from, like, models that people had returned and everything. And he was like, yeah, take whatever you want. And so now I've just got all of these, like, extra bits from, like, Age of Sigmar sets, or, like, older kits, or, like... a whole bunch of other things. So we love a good bits box. Is that like a thing? Is that like a thing that's around? I thought I was stumbling onto some person's individual, you know, government secret. Hold on, I'm just gonna. Oh, that's gonna really be annoying. Hold on, I'm gonna move the camera a little bit just to reorganize the cable. But yeah, I've got. I don't know what set this is from. I think it might be like a Chaos Space Marine Terminator or something, but it's like a gun arm. Like you can see there's like a fist holding like a really big. I think it might be like Chaos Space Marine related, but I want to try to figure out a way to put this as an orc arm or something. Can I do it here? I guess this guy could work. This could potentially work. I had a couple of heads in here that I wanted to look at, actually. Okay, I've got some really good parts in here. Like I've got an Astartes power sword. I've got like a big old bone wielding hand. Actually, I'm just gonna I knew that was gonna be a mistake, but you know what? Now I just have a bunch of plastic to sift through. Might be from a servitor. I don't think it is from a servitor because it's got like a whole bunch of chainmail coming off of it. It looks a little bit too official to be apart from a servitor, I think. But that's just a theory. Ooh, this could be cool. This is like a big guy. Oh no, this was the original hand that the boss knob was supposed to have before I gave him an absolute nightmare of a metal hand. Like this, I made this with like 4 different pieces. It's like half of an arm of it's like half of an arm from the Death Dread. It's a gun from the Death Dread. It's a rocket from some piece that I had lying around. And like a ventilation grate from one of the Storm Boys. So it's just an absolute nightmare of plastic that I have no idea if it's showing up on stream or not. Chainmail sounds like chaos. That's what I thought. Okay. I've also got this cool head here that, like, I think it might be from an Ogren or something. Like, or someone cosplaying MF Doom, but it's, like, way too big for some of these orcs that I'm trying to put it on. So let's see. I wanted to find... There was a couple of heads. Yeah, this is like another orc head. I think this might be... an Age of Sigmar orc. It's probably a little big. It looks a little big, at least. Okay, so what am I gonna need? I'm not sure if anyone saw my Instagram story before, but I also have a bunch of, like, horse heads from, like, cavalry horses. And I've been very tempted to just put them on, like, on the orcs. Just make them a BoJack Horseman-looking motherfucker. Is it silly? Yes. But it's my kind of silly. Okay, I don't think... Because he's got this really weird neck piece. I think I'm going to find it difficult to... to get another head in there that isn't the one that he wants to have. So I'm just going to look for the quote-unquote correct head for a second. Because I think I might be sort of shoehorned into using the correct head. Because, like, the neck piece is really weird. And I found that when you're replacing heads on some of the orcs, it can be a little bit difficult. So I might just have to go factory standard. Do not make hordes orcs. Well, look, you know, the one way to get me to do something is to tell me not to do it, so... I don't know, fam. You might be just digging your own grave there. Oop, and I've dropped the head. Yeah, I think I might just go with the default head for this one. But I'll see what I can do with the arms. Like, what I appreciate about the Squighog Boyz is that all of their arms are like individual arms, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. So they're really easy to, like, put something new on there. Which is good for me, because I got a bunch of different arms I want to use. He's armless. You walk big Ed. Yeah, the scale for a lot of these orcs is really weird. Like some orcs are just bigger than others, so like you'll find that like different heads just don't fit. While the glue's drying on their head, one thing I was considering was for the like little squig, like the little squig guy over here. So his face. So the squig is basically like two parts. Like it's literally just like two sides of the body, and you glue the face right on there. But I was thinking, what if instead of the squig face, I was instead to put an orc face on there instead? Because biologically, hear me out, right? Biologically, you know, squigs, Gretchen, orcs, they're all made from the same spores, right? So what if one of these squigs was like growing as a squig, but then like changed its mind halfway through and started growing an orc head instead? And so the result would have been absolutely grotesque, and like if there was a way for me to cleanly put this head onto the squig, I would have done it, but there was just no way that it was going to fit on his neck. Like it was quite upsetting to look at, actually. I got some AOS orcs, kind of hesitant to paint them. You know what? Sometimes you just have to dive on in. I find, like, you know, I think there's always going to be that fear of like, am I ready for this? Like, do I have like a good plan or something like that? But I find half of it you make it up as you go. Like, you know, you start painting and then you be like, oh, what if I do this color? Or what if I do this color? And like slowly over time, it all starts to build together, and you know, you get something good. Sometimes all you just got to do is start. That's what I find. Get some green stuff? I should. I know I should. Water break. Like, I know green stuff would be helpful, I just have no idea how to use it. So I guess I'm just like... That's one thing I know about myself, is that, like, I have that weird hang-up where it's like, okay, if I'm not immediately going to be good at this thing on my first attempt at it, I'm just gonna put off trying it for the longest time. And like I know that green stuff would probably be good in the long run, but as of now I'm just like, yeah. Okay, now this weapon has like an extra arm required for it, but it would be perfect for one of these boys if I could like figure out a way to properly utilize it. Like, look at that. That's just like tribal spear. It's perfect. Let's see. I don't think this is an orc arm, but it looks kind of orky. Maybe it's a Age of Sigmar one. Okay. Again, I might have to go with the default hand here, and then just like see what I can do from there. I like this arm though. It's got a big chopper there. I can feel the lack of motivation to paint just by looking at them. That I feel that too. Sometimes the way that I sort of get past that a lot of the time is to just have my painting stuff out. So whenever I feel like it, I can just go and put like one shade of paint, or like one thin layer of paint at a time, and then slowly you just start chipping away at it until, oops, it's done. Okay, this arm is massive. It's absolutely not going to fit there. Since orcs can easily reattach body parts, you can have messy neck parts. Hell yeah, you can. Actually, you know what? I might glue him to the squig before I... Yeah, I might have to glue him to the squig before I start customizing him too much. Because if I put an arm somewhere that, like, prevents him from sitting down properly, that's just going to be a whole thing. So let me just slide some glue on his gooch very uncomfortably. uncomfortable for everyone involved, myself included. And I'm just gonna, like, schlonk him on there. There you go. Now you're looking like a Squighog boy. I have the opposite problem. I will build and paint 40 models in a week. Oh my god. I'm just, like, so slow when it comes to painting. Like, that absolutely couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Okay, let's see. See, the problem is, like, I like kitbashing these guys, but I think this guy's default arm is actually really cool. And where is it? It's like a big spear. What part number is it? It's part number 16? There we go. Part number 16. Okay. I don't spill the glue, Ethan. You need that. You had to buy new glue because you spilled the last one. That's true. I did that. It was very upsetting. You see, like, this spear arm is actually cool as hell, and I kind of want to use it. Something for bit bashing, but as usual, mixing this. Ooh, yes. Sprugu, I believe that's called, which is an absolutely uncomfortable name that I hate. But it works. For the love of God, it works. Do not get green stuff. Super expensive for the amount that you get. Any epoxy putty will do. Okay. Okay, getting the hacks. Love that for us. Ooh, okay. See, like, if I could, I think, yeah, I think I could feasibly glue this arm on there, but then I just, what really annoys me is that, like, this piece has, like, it clearly has another hand on it. And, like, you need the other arm to connect it up, but I just don't have that. Let's see. I could give him an axe. Could give him this weird spear. I could... I could cut off the hand of this arm and, like, replace it with one of these other weapons that I have lying around. Love the new orc videos. Thank you. I tried very hard on it. I don't know. It's just like one of my favorite like bits of humor or comedy is like, you know, what if I just make a hard pivot to, you know, what if I'm being like silly and goofy for like 7 minutes and then make a hard pivot to something like dramatically serious for like a full 15 uninterrupted minutes. That's just my kind of humor right there. I want to paint my Votan, but I have no idea how to do it nice and purple and black. Yeah, like, sometimes it's just trial and error. Like, I tried to paint, I tried to go back and paint some of my Space Marines for the first time in a while. I have no idea where I'm trying to put this arm on it. This is clearly like a Necron arm or something. So it looks like really like thin and flimsy on his shoulder. Like, what if I just did that? That's absolutely not on camera. What if I just did that? Pew pew. Subvert the audience's expectation. That's absolutely right. And now I've lost the correct arm that I was supposed to have. Oh no. This arm hole is like so specifically put to one thing. Like the only way I can put this arm on here is that if he's like weirdly holding it behind his back. It's going like, yoo-hoo, boys! Oh, and I've unstuck him. The glue has come unstuck. Because of course it has. I just need to Just need to do an emergency glue injection under his butt. Under their butt. Glub, 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 glub. There we go. What do you rate the new Orc Battle Force and Combat Patrol? That's an excellent question. I like the new Combat Patrol. Like, I was even sort of interested in picking it up. I might pick it up on like a holiday sale or something. But I already bought some Squighog Boyz, so that kind of that doubles me up a little bit there. But I like it because, I mean, one of the reasons why I like the new Combat Patrol is that you can still buy the old one. There's plenty of them rolling around, so it's nice that they just have a little bit of variety, you know. Where the fuck is the arm I'm supposed to use? It's a refreshing change of pace. That's what I like about it. The Battle Force, on the other hand, includes a Stomper, and I have very mixed feelings on the Stomper. I don't really like the Stomper. It's a little bit too, I don't know, like it's one of those things where I'm like, I understand what the design brief was behind this. And I fully think that the designers of the Stomper like nailed the brief. Like, yeah, they wanted a big orc walker. They wanted it to be like lumbering and, you know, all that sort of stuff, and they nailed that. But I just don't really like how the final product looks. I just don't really like how the final product looks. And that's, you know, that's purely a taste thing. Although I was kind of interested in picking up a Stomper to like build it in such a way that you could remove the faceplate and like there'd be a whole bunch of like orcs inside having I think it would be a good like diorama set piece as like an individual battle thing. It just looks like a big tube, and I'm not sure how fun that would be to paint, if that makes sense. Which all comes back to like a personal taste thing. The Stomper looks like an old lady in a sundress. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I get too. Oh, don't get me wrong, the Stomper is beautiful in its own way, and like, you know, that's why I say it absolutely nails the design brief that it probably had. But just when it comes down to personal taste, I would probably, I don't know. I think I'd go for more like smaller vehicles, like, you know, the dragsters or the Dakajet, things like that. I think the most I would probably go with like the larger orc vehicles would probably be like a Gorkanaut or a Morkanaut or something. The Stomper works best as set dressing. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I get. I sort of put it in the same category as the there's like that weird orc battlement that like looks like a big face. I can't remember what it's called. It's like an older model, and it's a fortification. Like, you put it on the battlefield, like it can't move, but in like a really big radius around it, you get, you know, feel no pain or something like that. It's kind of like the Aegis battle line for the orcs, to my understanding. And so, like, I agree. It definitely feels like set dressing to me, which isn't a bad thing. Like, it absolutely has its place. Okay, I think it would be kind of this pose with this metal arm right here, like pointing the gun straight ahead. I think that's a really cool pose. Like, he's got the spear out here, and he's pointing the gun straight ahead. Only problem is, this is a left hand. So if I put the gun out here, his hand is fully back to front and upside down. But that's kind of funny, though. That's kind of funny, though. I could build some, I could build like a funny bit around that. I could build a funny bit around that. Maybe he's just an orc who grew a bit weird. I mean, it's definitely like it's clearly a robot hand. But like the fact that he's like holding the gun sideways too, like he's trying to be cool, despite the fact that his hand's on backwards. Oh, do I do it? Do I? Okay, this is a contender. This is a big contender. I'm gonna go through the other arms that I have. Yeah, his default arm is just like holding, it's like holding the reins of the squig. So I think we can do a little bit better than that. I could give him a weird like Tyrannid parasite pod. He's just got like pseudopods coming out of him. That's kind of fucked up. It's fine. He just broke his wrist. He just broke his wrist and then had to have like the complete wrong hand installed. Okay, Tyrannid Claw. Tyrannid Claw kind of looks cool. A little bit thin. I might save that for one of the grots or something. One of the grots is like fully been taken over by the gene stealers, but nobody pays any attention to it. Let's see. I am a fan of the giant mutant hands. Probably isn't going to sit right in his hole, though. As weird as it is to talk about his hole. Again, a little bit big and a little bit too basic. A dodgy pain boy that just got a little bit too enthusiastic with the experiment. Hell yeah. That's the kind of shit that I love to build. Ooh, I also have this, like, bow here that I could use. Oh, but again, it's the wrong hand. It's for the wrong side. I can kind of get away with putting the wrong hand on when it's, like... when it's mechanical, but when it's... Ah, fuck me. That's the second time it's happened. That's only the second time it's happened. Only the second time. Being the key word there. Fun fact, orcs actually do get infected by gene stealer cults. That's it. That's very good. That's classic orcs. Ah! Almost did it a third time. Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult to find an extra arm to put on this guy because the hole, like the arm hole is like built in such a way that if he's holding anything, it's just going to be covering his face. So I think I might... Yeah, I think I might put the backwards hand. I think it's silly enough. I think it's just silly enough to work. What's it gonna... Hold on, I'm just holding it really close to my eyes for a second, so it's just gonna be off camera for a little bit. I just need to, like... Okay. I think I'm gonna need super glue for this one, just to, like, really affix it in place. Because, like, I think it's gonna be a little bit weird to move around. We do love the silly. There's an amount of silly I can get away with. I just got a notification on my smartwatch to not drink Prime Energy. Wasn't planning on doing it before, definitely not planning on doing it now. Okay, the super glue is down. I have mere seconds to put this thing in place. I hate working with super glue, or like at least the brand of super glue that I have, because as soon as that glue like leaves its, as soon as the glue leaves containment, like you have to get everything into place perfectly within seconds. And they have to hold it there for an awkwardly long time while the glue sets. I wonder how many people are gonna like call me out and call me stupid for putting the wrong hand in or the wrong arm in the wrong socket. Like, it's a right hand, it's on the left hand. Ooh, yeah, I know. It's stupid. That's why I did it. It's jokes. It's so fucking stupid. I will say though, like the exact pose that he has with like the robot arms sticking out with the gun in the way that it does look fucking awesome. And like I think that if you're just like looking at it in passing, you wouldn't even know that he's got it's the wrong hand for the wrong side of his body. Holy shit, that actually looks really cool. I'm so glad I did that. Good job, me. Random notifications on my friends' phones like that, like... That's evil. You should be put in prison. Jail for you, I say. Okay. And now, I can put together a little Gretchen that hangs off the side. Let's see, what pieces do I need there? 20, 22, and 21. Do I have any of those on this sheet? 20, 22, and 21. Okay. Now I have to dig. For the guardsmen on the other end of it is terrifying. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? As long as I'm terrifying somebody. Okay, 20, 22, and 21 will also be there. Okay. Where are my trusty pliers? That's what they get for not locking their phones. I mean, that's a very real lesson in cyber safety. Lock your phone. Two-factor authentication. Nobody is allowed in. Ow. Okay. So let's see. I got a Gretchen. How am I gonna get away with? Okay, so the Gretchen has like a little. He's got a little spot for a hand, so I can definitely put like a new weapon on there or something. But I need to build him a certain way just so he hangs off the Squig properly. In fact, I also think I might have some heads left over from the Dakka jet, because there's a couple of like not Squig. There's a couple of grot options in there that you can use. So I might be able to put a little head on there that like gives him flyboy glasses, whatever you call those goggles. Togs. No, YouTube, I do not want YouTube Premium. Thank you very much. I don't want to give you any money. Thank you. Okay. So that's just doing that. Okay. So yeah, how does he hang on here? Oh my god, it looks like the Gretchen sort of like holds on by he's supposed to hold on at a point on the main orc's like arm. And I've like the new arm is like just in place enough that it still works. That I was almost in for disaster there. Whoops. Oops. Okay, but I can see pretty clearly where he's supposed to like stick on there. Oh no, he's supposed to stick on like there. That's actually fine. He like sticks onto the back of his belt. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Crisis averted. So I'm gonna go off grid here and like glue him on before I put his head or like arm things on, just because I want to make sure that any kit bashing I do, I just want to make sure that it's not gonna like it's not gonna like unbalance the model in such a way that like makes it impossible to build. You know what I mean. It was meant to be. That's right. Okay, okay. Ooh. I could give him a power sword, maybe. That's kind of silly. I just glue a power sword on there? Okay. Cut his arm off at the base and put in like a Tyrannid claw. Terrifying, but maybe not what we want. Full-size orc arm with gun? Maybe. Nah, it doesn't really accommodate that. There's no mistakes, only future painting opportunities. That's exactly right. I've got a lot of right-handed weapons, not a lot of left-handed ones. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ! I just flicked those off into the abyss. My God. It's not the first time I'm going to do something like that, and it's definitely not going to be the last. Okay, do I have anything? I don't know if I have a lot of like left-handed weapons in my like scrap box of bits. Scrap bitty bop bit bop bip. You know what I mean? Squibbity bop bip bop bip bip. Tiny Tim, love that. He's just a little guy, and he's incredibly British. I mean, I could give him a big old chopper here. Could give him a big old chopper, maybe. The hand's a little bit big, though. Let's see. Ooh, okay, this one might be a little bit more feasible. Let's see. I like the idea of a Gretchen with like a full-sized orc hand. I got a couple of shields I could potentially use as well. Orcs, of course, famously known for their defensive capabilities. I had like one. Okay, I've got this Chaos Terminator Power Claw I could definitely use. It might be a little bit on the nose, though. I feel like I had like a shield somewhere. Oh, this might be it here. Oh no, it's got a hand. It's got a hand on it. It's way too big. Christmas Carol themed orcs. How positively delightful. Okay. Actually, here's what I could do. Where's his hand? Yeah, so his default weapon is like this sort of chain axe thing. But I could potentially... Because, yeah, I think the main problem I'm running into with him is that, like, I don't really have a lot of options that also have small hands. Like, I could potentially use this, like, clearly Space Marine power sword. But no, I don't think that looks quite good with the model. So, if I cut out his default weapon here, I could potentially just do what I did with my Warboss in Mega Armor and, like, cut the head off the weapon and replace it with something else. This Scrooge is just like my own boss. Finally, an orc that also hates landlords. So yeah, if I just like... Yeah, that's good. If I glue this on there, what I could potentially do is just cut the head off this axe and replace it with something new. I think the plastic is pretty flimsy though. Like I've also got to keep in mind like whether or not I need to. I've got glue on my fingers. Ew, 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 yuck, 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 yuck. Yucky. Oh no. I'm absolute. Oh god. Oh, it's covered in glue. Oh, it's covered in glue and it's on all my other pieces. Oh no. Oh no. Where are you? Where are you? Come here. Come here. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to like awkwardly hold this one in place for ages because it's such a tiny bit of plastic. Like, there's no easy way to put it on there. The glue is alcohol. Oh ho ho. Slurp slurp. Yum yum. Don't tell anyone I said that. It's a weird thing that I just said. Nobody clip that. It's okay, we're not on Twitch. That can't happen. Right? Would you recommend orcs in terms of being fun to build and paint over Space Marines? Yeah, I would say so. Like, the thing that I always think about when it comes down to like building and painting, you know, models in Warhammer is that like there's like pros and cons to all the armies, right? Like there's different levels of satisfaction that you get with them, which, you know, is good that I can speak in a very long-winded fashion while I'm holding this in place waiting for the glue to dry. So thank you very much for asking the question. Like, for example, like the satisfaction I get from painting the orcs is different than the satisfaction I get from painting Space Marines. So if we sort of use some other models I've done as an example, like, you know, when I was painting my war boss in Mega Armor, you know, I was making him very like rustic, very scrappy. I was like, you know, using a lot of dry brushing and edge highlight or dry brushing on the metal bits to make them look, you know, rustic, a little beaten down, you know, not really like pristine and polished sort of thing. And just having, oh, he's definitely not on screen. And just like having fun with it that way, you know? He's got more of a rustic charm to it, which, you know, is fun to do. When it comes to the Space Marines, on the other hand, you know, I like to paint them very clean. I like to, you know, make them really bright, really vibrant. You know, I like to get in there with edge highlighting and, you know, basically make them look like action figures, for lack of a better term. And so, like, as I said, there's pros and cons to both of them. Like, some days I'm in the mood to paint something a bit more orky. Some days I'm in the mood to paint something a little bit more refined and polished, like the Space Marine Terminators. And, like, it just sort of varies day by day, you know? Orcs have tempted me when I have had a huge Chaos Trim overload. Oh, yeah, like... That's one of the things I've heard most about Chaos. Even from like the one Chaos model that I painted, I haven't even finished him really. It's literally just like from the one hat that I gave one of my other orcs. Where is he? Where's Rue? There he is. Like even just painting the trim on this hat was enough to make me go, hey, this is really annoying. I don't want to do that again and 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 again. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm reaching into my sprue box to see what other things I can like give him. This is Space Marines. This is not what I want. I'm looking for... I think I might have some Gretchen heads left. Nope, this is more of the bombs that I can use. Ah! Okay, no, I don't have any Gretchen heads left, but I do have some different orc heads that I could potentially use for something down the line. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I don't think I have much in the way of spare Gretchen heads, so I'm just gonna have to, unless. Now hear me out. Hear me out. You seeing this? What do we think about this? Obviously, I'd have to trim down the neck, but what do we think? What do we think? Serious answers only. Stupid. Alright, where's his head? Piece number 19. There it is. Listen, if I'm gonna I think it could work. Hello! Hello, YouTube user Katie Spurgeon. How we doing? I think it could work. Yeah, look, listen, one of these days, somebody's getting a horse head. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And quite frankly, a matter of who. See, the horse head is so striking. I feel like I need to put it on like a war boss model or something, and like that's, you know, that's what I model the entire army after. Like I can't just give someone. Oh god, did I lose it? Where'd it go? Where did my beautiful horse head go? Hello? Oh, there he is. Like I can't just give someone a beautiful horse head and then just not do anything with that. Like, it has to be somebody important. It has to be something meaningful. I love it. Hell yes. Me too. Like, that's the centerpiece that you have to, like, build your entire army around. Like, that's the leader of the warband. That can't just be some throwaway grunt. That's the BoJack Orkman. Ooh, a hood ornament on a truck is very good. I was at one point considering, like, putting it as the face of this, like, tiny squig. But then it would just be, like, pointing outwards and it'd be sort of, like, weird. Weird is not bad. Weird is not bad. You'll have to catch me first. Aha! Okay. What else can I put on this guy? Like, I've got a bit of space. There's not a lot of, like, spare space on this, actually. What could I put? What could I put? What other pieces do I have? I could put some, like, piping somewhere. I've got all these, like, leftover, like, just, like, pipes from the Dakajet that I feel like I need to use somewhere. Got a weird techno pylon. I've also got this, like, you know, I'm not even sure what it is. It's like a goat or something that's like primed for sacrifice. A gun. I do think I have a spare gun actually somewhere. I think I actually have a spare gun somewhere. Give him some Promethium tanks. Actually, the Promethium tanks could work. Ow. Not sure if YouTube recommended me your channel because of Warhammer, but interested in old fashioned. Hey, the algorithm knows. It knows what you need before it even comes to pass. You know, I'm gonna put the Promethium tanks down. Like this is a nice little piece. And like, you know, you always need a squig should have a 50-50 chance of exploding. That's what I say. Yeah, it's a nice little piece. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get much other opportunity to put anything else down here. So I'm just gonna hold that in place for a little bit because it's not supposed to be there and it's a little bit weird. So I'm just gonna like hold that with my finger there. It knows too well sometimes, so true. It knows what you need before you even know you need it. That's how advertisement works. Put the Prometheum on Tiny Tim. No! He needs to remain unexploded. He's the Makari of the Squighog Boyz. Well, actually, he's like close enough to it that if it blows, it's taking him with him. Like he ain't getting out of this alive. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, and anything else I put down here is just gonna be scrap for scrap's sake. But yeah, I think this guy's pretty much done. Yeah. Whoop! Oh god! Whoop! Whoop! Note to self: make sure he has 3 points of contact with my hands at all times. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep this weapon as is, unless there's anything else I can do with it. No, the chain axe there is like, I think that's probably the best I'm gonna be able to do. Because, yeah, like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to... Ah! Almost dropped it. I could give Tiny Tim a fucking, like, what do you call it? Radio pack. What about pipe teeth? The pipes are too thick, and this Squig is like, his head is a little bit too small. And besides, I already put the metal jaw on. Like, I can't really go in and do any impromptu dentistry. Horse? No. The more I look at this, the more inclined I am to give him a horse head. So I think I'm gonna just have to move on to the next Squig. On to the next one! Oh, it took me 80 minutes to get through one. My god. Okay. Right. Well, this guy has another little grot next to him. So, well, let me just look at the instructions. Oh, this one's pretty simple. He's only got like a couple of pieces to him. And looking at it, I might be able to switch out one of the heads here. I might be able to switch out his head there. That could be something. It could be something. Let's see. 28, 26, and 27. Okay, I'm going to have to do this weird thing where I, like, put together the middle of his stomach as well again. And that went so well for me the first time. 28. Ow. Okay. My desk is just a mess of plastic right now. I love your conversion, especially. Thank you. I try very hard to make the best boys possible. And I just like to have fun doing it. And if I can entertain and delight with my weird little things that I do, then you know what? That makes me happy. Maybe someday I'll get enough eyes on it that I'll be able to, I don't know, fund my crippling plastic addiction. This shit's expensive, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun. Pincushion seems to be a favorite amongst, you know, the commenting masses. He's a good boy. Where is he? Where is he? He's on my... He's over here somewhere. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, he's down here. He's like on the table. There he is. What a little freak. Love him. He can just live there amongst the plastic for a little bit. Let's see. Okay. So now, again, I have to do this really weird thing where I have to, like, connect two of, like, two of the body pieces together, and then I also have to glue the belly piece in there as well. It's always annoying, but you know what? We must suffer for our art. I think. I mean, we shouldn't have to suffer. We should just be able to, like, do art and create freely. Oh, there's a little flibbity bit here that I have to... I'm getting a part-time job just to fuel my plastic crack addiction. I would say that it would be good to get a part-time job to buy bills and groceries. But provided those are already taken care of, plastic, plastic, plastic. Whittle that down a little bit. Whittle down that little plastic. Sand it off. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Alright, should be able to glue this Squighog together now. Okay, there's a little bit of a... He's got a little bit of a wart on the plastic here. Ow! Ow. I'm always dropping shit. I really gotta have my hand-eye coordination tested or something. Goop, 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 goop. I'm getting it all over my fingers, but that's fine. I'm getting it all over my fingers, but that's fine. Okay. Oh god, it's everywhere, oh god. How the fuck is it supposed to go together? Okay, so these two sides go together like that. Oh god, I'm gooping, I'm gooping! He's gooping! He's gotta get it around the weird legs and butthole of this thing. Okay. I don't think I put enough glue on like the lower bits down here, so I hope to God that it holds together through like spite. No, it's not gonna do it. I need to like crack him open and put a bit of extra glue in there. Goop, 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 goop. I cast summon goop. It is critically effective. Okay. It's a big hole for a leg here, but I think that's supposed to be there. I bought a coconut last week and now I can't afford food. No! That's not what you should be doing! The backlog will help me survive the year. Look, you know, if you got models to make, you know, I always think that it's always good to, well, I say it's always good to tackle the models you have before buying new ones, but I just bought these, and I still have a Gazgul that I need to build. To not be a stinky, smelly Warhammer gamer. Well, that makes one of us. That's a lie. I smell great, and I regret nothing. We love building our funny little guys in this house. Okay, let's see. 24, 23. Okay. Alright. Not to mention the unbuilt Gundams. Yeah, that seems to be a recurring nightmare? No, that's not what I want to say. That seems to be a recurring thread in a lot of my comment sections, right? Every time I make jokes that it's like, oh, Warhammer's expensive, but we buy it. Hoo 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 hoo. Somebody always comes out of the woodwork and goes, this guy doesn't even know the financial plight of Gunpla. I can't afford rent or groceries or my child support, but I have giant anime robots, I guess. That's what Gunpla is, right? Have you ever considered playing orcs in Age of Sigmar? I haven't put much thought into Age of Sigmar. Like, I've been tentatively curious, but I haven't like put too much deep thought into it. I don't know. I feel like if I was gonna play something in Age of Sigmar, I think I would want to go for, I don't know. Do you call them factions? Do you call them armies? I would want to go for a faction that could give me something that I can't get in 40k. Like, I paint orcs in 40k. You know, they're very ramshackled. They're very, you know, cobbled together sort of thing. And, like, if I was gonna, like, pivot to the fantasy setting, maybe I would want to go for something, like, really high fantasy. Like, I think I was looking at the, I don't know, maybe, like, Cities of Sigmar, where they have, like, where it's just a bunch of, like, you know, townsfolk, like, building, like, siege weapons and stuff like that. That could be fun, because, you know, I always kind of wanted to play Imperial Guard in 40k, but then it would just be, like, painting a bunch of, like, tiny humans again and again and again and again and again and again, which I kind of do with orcs anyway. But I think it's easy with the orcs because they're, like, substantially bigger models. Or maybe I'm just telling myself that to cope. Grots are best in Age of Sigmar? Hell yeah. Slurp, slurp, slurp. So yeah, maybe like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of the Stormcast Eternals, which I think I've seen a lot of them because they're like the default ones I hear. But like painting like knights in armor and stuff like that could be cool. Sylvaneth? That's something you can't afford. Okay. That sounds magical. Yeah, maybe if I was going to go Age of Sigmar, I'd want to go like witches and wizards and like, you know, I cast fireball kind of thing. Oops, all tankalist. Yeah, yeah. I do like the idea of painting guards sometime, though. Like, I wanted to... Like, one of the things I wanted to do if I ever got guard was I wanted to, like, splice them up with some of the, upgrade sprues from Necromunda to make them, like, a little bit more ramshackled and sci-fi. I think I've got... Yeah, I think there's some, like... I need to, like, whittle this down, which sucks because I already put glue on it. Like whittle this plastic down because there's still a bit of like sprue bits on it. Add my eyes and slice of darkness. Ooh, with less trim. What more could you want? What more could you bloody want? That's better. I mean, I don't actually know if that's better, but it feels better to me. It's you can kind of still see the single on his neck, but that's fine. You see they're doing a Gene Stealer Guard kill team? I think I caught wind of that. I also like the idea of the Gene Stealer cults. I think they're one of those factions that, like, you know, like, they have their models, but I don't think they've gotten anything new in a while. They're one of the less popular ones, I suppose. And then again, everyone gets their time in the sun, and I do like the vibe of the Gene Stealers. And like I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that, you know, with the Gene Stealer cults, you can like put Tyranids in as part of their army list because they're kind of the same thing. So that could add some variety. Souvenir for dryads and treants. Ooh, delicious. Delectable. Yo, we love massive rhinoceros beetles in this house. That's kind of just what squigs are when you think about it. Whoa, what was that? It was absolutely not the noise my human body should have made. Okay, hold on. 1 second. I have a friend who runs guards, specifically silver. Use Orlock parts from Necromunda to make his army. Hell yeah! We love kitbashing in this house. Obviously. I just had to take a moment to eat a bread. Sorry, I'm chewing on bread. Hold on. We also have tree lords, giant treants. 20 bees? That's too many bees. I like how whenever anyone, like, talks about Warhammer, they always say, like, we. Like, yeah, we got all these cool things. We got all these cool things. Like, you know that definitely makes it sound like a cult, right? I mean, like, I'm in it. I'm with you. It is a little bit of a cult, probably. Just grind this down. Grind it good. It's a cult. Cult, yes. Well, yeah, my mistake. Well, at least the entrance fee is optional. Genestealers can ally with Tyranids and can pick up guard units? Oh my god. That's sick as hell. I don't know if I've done this right, actually. I might have just taken... is this how this goes in there? I think this is how it goes. Oh, okay, so he's got like a little robot leg here, but he's like in a running position, so it's sort of like squinked up a little bit. I see. Okay, I see what I gotta do. I'm using Etch's models from Necromunda to prop for Caddies and Jungle Fighters. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's the other thing I heard about Guard, is like the models have... Some of them are kinda old. I mean, I have that problem with the orcs already. Like, I made a very like tongue-in-cheek joke about some orc models in one of my last videos, and I thought we were all, you know, kind of on the same page. Vis-a-vis, like, you know, the old orc models are kind of doofy, sort of thing. But then a lot of people were commenting like, "Don't be mean to the orcs. Don't be mean to the old orcs. They're doing their best." And I immediately feel guilty and like I had to apologize. I'm so old orcs. You look like grumpy old men, and you should be beautiful for that. Imagine building 140k models, paint my beautiful daughter can. We like what we like in this house. Okay. Oh, he's also got like a little bit of an iron mandible. Should I give him the iron mandible? I probably should. He needs jaw protection. Hmm. Okay, here's my ship. Okay. Where am I? Alright, I need these two. I need the mandibles. I bought a Lehman Russ off eBay that's older than I am. Oh my god. Yeah, I keep forgetting this game's been out for a fucking while, hasn't it? Like a hot minute there. What do you mean you got a Land Raider for free? I want a free Land Raider. Give me a free Land Raider. I make funny videos on YouTube. I deserve it, I guess. No. Oh yeah, like putting newer models like next to older models is like crazy. I got a set of I got a set of like Chaos Legionnaires for my birthday last year. And like even just putting them next to the Primaris remains of Primaris Marines? Primaris Marines of the Leviathan set. It's like, oh, these are... Why are you so tiny? Why are you so tiny and small? I have to ask them. Okay. Schlorp. So I have to put that glue on there. Yeah, look at that. Look at those big, lovely jaws. Yum, 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 yum. I regular run Tech Marine models from 1989? Jesus. Oh my god. He's tiny. I love him. Ask some older people in the hobby. They'll throw a rhino at you. Oh my god. You killed him and got his Land Raider. See, that to me makes it sound like you're in some, like, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Ass setup. If you defeat me in battle, you can have my deck. Also, I'm eating bread. And it's very rude, but I'm hungry. I have a demon princess a few years older than me. Oh my god. That's commitment. That's commitment to the bit. Oh, that was awkward. I'm just gonna make sure that I don't accidentally go to phone data at any point, because I do not want that. Now well. Want that. Now well. Oh, the death throes of streaming from a fucking mobile phone. If I knew what I was doing, I would have a good setup. But I don't, so I don't know. Some Eldar models are so old they're legally allowed to drink. Hey, I mean, they are the Eldar. Like, being old is their entire thing, right? That's why they're called the Eldars. Elders, old. You know what I mean. I'm funny. Everyone laugh. Okay. So, how am I going to put this guy together? Okay, he's going to go on there. We'll see what I can do. We'll see what I can do for this guy vis-a-vis different heads. I've played it pretty safe with the heads so far. So I think for this one, I've really got to like whittle down some plastic to get like something new and interesting in there. I've got a couple of like spare heads from the Dakajet kit that I could use potentially. I'm gonna give those a shot. Mostly just because those are the only spare heads that I have right now. That's the best thing about orcs. Every kit you get, you always get like 4 more heads than you need. So the next time you go to build, you have 4 more heads than you need. Currently play concept with my crush. Ooh! Ooh! Give him hell, Tiger. Leela's got a book. Hell yeah! I don't know who that is. Okay. Now I know we've been through this before, but what do we think? What do we think of this? What do we think of this? Do we think we can do it? No? Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, Lilith, the Dark Elf lady. I know her. I've heard her talked about before. She got a Black Library book. Yeah, I saw that. That's fantastic. Oh, okay, where's my head? Ugh. Okay, I've got this head here, which is like a little bit fascist military captain, but it's doable. It's definitely more, you know, Dackerjet pilot than Squighog Boy, but I think it works. Oh my god, that's an underbite and a half. Ah, okay. Okay, I'm definitely gonna need. I think I can glue him on. I might need some super glue for that, just to make sure that he has proper fixture. And then I might need to put some plastic glue in there just to like fill out the space, so when I go through and base coat it later, there'll be a solid surface rather than just a gaping hole. Give the Squig a hat. Oh, that's also a good idea. I could just... No, I don't trust myself to, like... I don't trust myself to cut this guy's hat off and put it on the Squig. Like, I would just end up destroying the head. Who knew painting Space Marine eyes or being half-blind would be so difficult? It feels like that's something that... might have come up prior. Then again, I don't know. I'm neither an expert on Space Marines, nor am I a disability advocate. Okay, there we go. Okay, I just need to, like, get the positioning exactly right, because as soon as the super glue starts to dry, it's gonna be game over for me. Like, I'm not gonna be able to get this guy off at all. I'm not gonna be able to get this guy off at all. I should think about the things before I say them. On an avenue that's recorded on the internet forever. And yet I do not, so... I'm just gonna let that slide and just sit here in silence while I glue him to the fucking next stump. See, that's the best part about orcs. If you glue their heads on a little bit wonky, it's fine. It just means they're focused and in battle, I guess. Like, I think we need more super glue. I think I... Ah! Ah! That was very upsetting. More glue! Waiter, more glue, please. I'm gonna put him back on there. Actually, did I glue him there in the first place? Oh yeah, he's got glue in his ass. I did glue him there. Give the Squig a hat. I need to find a hat that I can give to him. Okay. Alright. There we go. Okay. Now I just need to like hold him here for a second because I need to wait for the super glue to dry on his head and also for the glue under his ass to prevent him from going anywhere. Praise Boing Gob. Sure. Sometimes people will come into my chats and just start saying things. And you know what? I think that's beautiful. Unless it's like some cult shit or something. I don't know. Clipped. No! Use green stuff to make a hat. Just like a really bad, like, you know, fucking Wallace and Gromit ass plasticine hat. Everything is a hat if you believe hard enough. Actually... What do you think of this? What? Yeah? What do you think of that, huh? Is that a hat? I really shouldn't be doing that while I'm waiting. I really shouldn't be doing that while I'm waiting for super glue to dry. I cannot touch this. If I even touch this a little bit, the stuff that's like affixing his head to his spine right now, gone. Give it a fedora. How do I ban somebody? Blowing up is a squid that... Okay, alright. Okay. That's the best part about Warhammer. Just say anything, and I'm like, and I have no choice but to believe you. I simply have no choice but to believe you. And I know that puts me in a very precarious position where you can, in fact, say pretty much anything you want. I would simply ask you do not use this power against me, because I am powerless to defend myself. Okay, I feel like I can give this guy a gun. I feel like this guy is worth having a gun hand. Oh, Cole. Listen, Wallace and Gromit memes are the way to my heart. That's the one thing you gotta know about me. I grew up on that shit. It's me! I'm the guy who made those funny little orc stories that everyone seems to enjoy. Or at least everybody who's told me they enjoy them. I'm sure there's other people out there. I'm sure there's other demographics that exist. Hope to see Beret Squig when I get back. Well, temper your expectations. I could give him a crown, like that. Look at that. Is that anything? No, it fell off. Can't be done. Now, again, this guy's got like an armhole up here. I could potentially... See, I have all of these great, like, weapons that clearly need a second arm that I just don't have. Very upsetting. I enjoy them quite a lot also. Hell yes! My content is reaching its target audience. Audience. Ha 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 ha. Maybe Wallace and Gromit showing why is it the wrong trousers? Of course it's the wrong trousers. It's the classic. I mean, a close shave was a good step up for the medium, but you know, you just can't go back. You just can't go past the classics, you know. Okay, I think this guy is the one I can use this Chaos Space Marine gun arm on. But you cut stuff before gluing them? Am I supposed to do it any other way? Hello? Hello? Oh yeah, this is great actually. Yeah, this piece works perfectly. Like the way that his body is set up. Because the problem I had with this arm is that it's clearly like it's a Chaos Space Marine arm, and they have like smaller armatures than the Space Marines, and they definitely have smaller armatures than the Orcs. But if I put it on him in such a way where it looks like he's like leaning back, kind of. I can kind of like cheat the perspective a little bit and make it seem a little bit more reasonable, I think. Will other people agree with me? Maybe not. I mean, a close shave was good, don't get me wrong. It was like a... It was a good technical step up for the medium. But it was also very, very, very spooky, and I couldn't watch all of it as a child until later in life. I will always find a way to bring my streams back to Wallace and Gromit chat. I mean, usually you... I think... Not using plastic glue. I use plastic glue for most of the bits. Whenever I'm, like, sometimes when I'm like kitbashing something, like when I'm putting this arm that's clearly not meant to be there on a body that's clearly not meant to accommodate it, sometimes I use super glue then just so I can get some extra hold on it. Because the thing about super glue, or the super glue that I have at the very least, it like, it dries very quickly and like holds it very quickly. And I think it works a lot better for pieces that clearly aren't meant to be there. So that's just what I find. I could be wrong on that. Oh, that arm looks great. Like, I'm so happy with that. I think that's absolutely not going to be on, not going to focus in on my camera, but like, the scale is perfect. It's a cool looking gun. Mwah. As Gork or Mork intended. That's exactly right. Now what can I do with his other arm? I have a couple of like different other arms that I think I can use. I could give him 2 guns. Oh, but then it's gonna be covering his face. I don't have left hand guns in my like bits and bobs bag. Which is upsetting. Maybe what do we think about this? What do we think about this? No arm, just hand. What do we think about that? Meh. Stupid. You know, I think this arm that he has is so cool that I think I'm just gonna, cause like the default hand that they have for this kit is like him holding the reins of the Squig and like piloting it. So I think I'm just gonna use that one. Like the gun hand is gonna be the main point of focus on this one. What piece do I need? 38. Where's piece 38? Oh, it's on my lap. I forgot this sprue was here. Have you been enlightened with the extra thick Tamiya glue? Listen, if there's a commonly known Warhammer construction hack, it is just safe to assume that I do not know it. I'm still coming to grips and getting my bearings with this, and I'm still new enough to this that I can put my pliers down and then absolutely lose them. Where the fuck did they go? I had them. I've been cutting things out this entire time. What is happening? Where? They were here. Where the hell did they go? Where? Where? Where are you? I literally had them. I literally had my clippers like 2 seconds ago. 2 seconds ago. Where did I put them? Where did they go? Where did I put them? Buckle-I-do. Oh. Found it. The missing shoulder pad was right in front of me the entire time. God, that's been me all day today. And I've lost the part that I need. Oh wait, no, I found it. I've lost Forge World bits. Oh no. Those guys are expensive, to my understanding. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Get out of here. I'm gonna keep having a good fun time building cool stuff. Rest and be well. Okay, this guy's ass is not glued down. Very much, if at all. I think I need to put, yeah. I've put glue, like, on his ass, and I don't think that's working. I think it needs to be more, like, on his legs. Just gonna absolutely, like, fucking cake his saddle in glue. Cake is cake, if you will. My beautiful Fulgrim cost me $200. Oh my god. Fulgrim's pretty sick though. Like I don't know if I'd say sick like fucking as in cool, but like in terms of he's definitely one of the most interesting Primarchs. Like I read the Fulgrim Horus Heresy novel, and that one really stood out to me as being like, oh, here's a really interesting like character profile about somebody whose entire existence is doomed to fail from the very start. And that's interesting. I like that. I think that's cool. And then he becomes like a snake man or something, I don't know. I just want to see him get doomed by the narrative. I think I might have like glued him on wrong or something. I just need to like, okay, I just need to like push him down into place. Look at that. Look at that guy. Tamiya glue is great. Gets an extra thin Tamiya glue, then put pieces of sprue. Okay. Paintable plastic. Hell yeah. All right. Do you have a Discord server or other community platform? I do not. I mean, I usually just have like social media sort of thing. I think I tried to run Discord servers like back in the day, like back when webcomics were my thing. I used to be a webcomic guy. I made a webcomic for like 5 years. And that's the thing that I thought was gonna like blast me into fame and notoriety. I am joking around, but like that was it was a fun project that I'm still very fond of. But I think I started a Discord server at one point. And like I did it because like most artists at the time were like building Discord servers and stuff like that. And that was like, okay, this is just like another internet thing that, you know, you need sort of thing. And then like I think it was like I'd only ever got to like a dozen people or something. And then someone said something like a little like a little mean or crass, and it's like, oh, I have to wait. Am I expected to like manage these other people? Absolutely not. I am not doing that for strangers on the internet. And then I deleted the whole thing. Because like when it comes to me and like what I like to do on the internet, I just like to make stuff. I like to make funny little videos. I like to make funny little guys and post pictures of them. Like I don't know if I'm at like community status yet. And yeah, I don't know if I ever will be. Like I like to make stuff and put it out there in the world and share it with people. And you know, if they like it, then that makes me happy. That makes me happy. If you had a Discord, I would post models. I think that was the other thing. Like it's community Discords will often have like so many like things going on in them. I just wouldn't be able to keep track of it. And like I think it's one of those things where it's like if I'm not if I wouldn't be willing to give it the time or diligence that it needed to like I don't know, like protect it from spam or trolls or I hate using the word trolls. Like if I wasn't willing to invest the time in it to like manage that community, like I probably shouldn't do it in the first place. What was my comic? It was a humble little web comic called An Exercise in Futility. It was about 2 penguins in the Arctic, and I updated it every day for 5 years. There's like 1,636 comics that I made out there on the internet. It still to this day remains like the most long form creative thing that I've ever done. And I think there's still some of them still hold up. You know, I just made a little goof every day, and that was the thing that I did growing up through my later high school years and going into university. And then I had to stop because I got a big boy job. Do we see the beret Squig? The Squig has not got a hat yet. He hasn't got a hat, but his head is kind of like shifted and is mounting a little bit. I'm not sure if that's a problem. So I'm just gonna leave him. I'm just gonna leave him as it is. If his head falls off, I'll just have to glue it back on. I shall consume it. Go forth. I mean, like that's one of my favorite things about running a webcomic for 5 years is that I've completely forgotten each and everything that I've ever made for it. So anytime I go back to it, it's like I'm reading it for the first time, and I'm like, huh, I'm funny. Discord server with single channel labeled orcs for pictures of orcs. It's a single channel labeled orcs for pictures of orcs, and nobody has any authority to post in it. Only me. Okay, but what if I like post? What if I put him on his base like this, and he's just doing like a yeehaw giddy up? Actually, no, it just looks like the Squig is sitting down then. Lol. Have you ever played D&D? Yes, I played D&D with my old group for about 6 years before I left to Canada. I was a dungeon master for the good lot of it, and I make a whole bunch of D&D homebrew, which I've made videos of on my channel here. And is also available on itch.io/artofthecat. Meow meow. Oh, I've got there's a little like shoulder pad that I can glue on him. But do I want to do that? I kind of like how he just has a bare arm here. Like he's sort of giving like, you know, orc commando. Like instead of having like shoulder armor on like both arms, he kind of has a bit of shoulder armor from the gun arm. But like I think just having like the raw muscle is kind of good looking. Kind of toyed having the idea of a Discord as a museum rather than a community. Yeah, like I mean, whatever works. I mean, on like social media and stuff like that, like I can manage social media like of my own accord, sort of thing. Like what was I gonna say? You know, there's a Gretchen that I can put on the back of this Squighog rider, but I don't think I want to. Like I think I just want to keep it bare. Like I love this orc that I built so much, but I don't think I really want him to have a hanger-on. Maybe I can use the hanger-on for something else. Hold on. Let's see if I can get like a good visual example on the box. Yeah, I think it's like this guy back here. Like this is the intended model. And so like he's sort of just like standing back there. He's not really like doing anything interesting. So I think I'm gonna leave him off for now. And that'll give me a Gretchen that I can use on some other places. Because like he's a fully built Gretchen. It's not like he's half of him or anything like that. So I might be able to use him for future Kitbash purchases. Blood axes are actually strategic. I have very little knowledge. Oh, fuck. I have very little knowledge about the God damn it. This guy needs a base. This is untenable. I have very little knowledge about the factions of the what do you call them? The clans. I have very little knowledge about all that, and like for me, it's more. I don't know. I just like making weird little guys. The reviews are in. The webcomic that I made for 5 years ago, is hilarious. Go me. I made a Discord once just to post gifts for me to use in other apps. See, that's the way you do it. That's strategic. Okay. Is it? I've been at this for 2 hours now, and I have made 2 Squighog Boyz. Does it literally take me an hour to glue these things together? Is that fast? Is that slow? It feels like it's slow, but I don't know anything about the process to say otherwise. Okay, 50... 51. But I have one more Squighog Boyz build, and I'm very excited to do that. Gross. I use Discord as my note-taking app and data transfer. I mean, I use Discord to transfer data all the time, but I use that in like Discord servers that I'm already in. Like everyone has like a Discord server up with their like group of friends, and I'll just like post images that I need from my phone that I need if I'm like making a video or something. I'll just post a bunch of videos in there and just be like, hey, ignore this, and then they won't ignore it because they're assholes. Should read a book called War Boss. Ooh, maybe I will. But then that involves reading. I say as I'm reading more audiobooks in the last couple of months than I've ever had in my entire life. Discord's out here wondering why their server costs are so high. Meanwhile, this one guy has been making 20 Discords for his own like individual purposes and filling them up with an audience of 1. Good. Make Discord spend all of their server hosting money on you specifically. That's not ironic. On the topic of reading, read The Infinite and the Divine. I did that months ago. It's great. 56 and 55, okay. I loved reading about the adventures of the 2 gay little robots who hate each other. They're like Waldorf and Statler, the best Muppets. Okay, 55. The Infinite and the Divine is, like, really good, though. Like, that's one of the things, like, if people ever, like, feel like they want to start reading the books, like, it's... I guess it sort of straddles a fine line. Like, the Necrons kind of have, like, a lot of lore going for them that I don't think all of the lore is, like, full... I think that's one of the hard things. Like, they've got so much established lore that you have to tread a fine line between, what do you call it? Between writing something that, is interesting to the longtime fans while also being understandable and accessible to new people. Like, there are things like the War in Heaven and, like, the Old Times and the Necron Tier, and I'm like, I just picked up this book on a whim. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Muppet Necrons. That's exactly what they are. They even go to the opera that one time. Like, how can you see them as anything else? They literally go into the opera and get like the fucking best seats in the house because they're the 2 old Muppets that hate everything. You brought me front row seats to a coup. The reviews were pretty good. That's like my favorite line in the entire thing. Okay. Oh god, this Squig's like a little motorbike, man. I finished Lord of the Excess the other day. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. We do love some Emperor's Children in this house. Sometimes. Okay, what do I need? I need piece 49 and 52. Can you guys tell me where to find pieces 49 and 52? Because I'm stupid. Nope, never mind. I found them. I'm a god. Will I be at the big war for Yarrick? I don't know who that is. So I'm gonna hazard a guess and say no. After a trillion years, you're not rivals, you are gay. So true, bestie. 52. That's what I need. Thousand Sons of the Ancient Things, way better than the Necrons. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going on with the Thousand Sons, and at this point I am too afraid to ask. Like they've sort of got like they've got like an Egyptian motif, but also they're, I don't know, evil, but also not evil. I don't know. I don't know, and at this point I am too afraid to ask. Ah! Also, 1,000 sons. You're gonna need more boys. The whole galaxy's at war. You're gonna need more than 1,000 guys. Like, I don't know, anytime I've seen the 1,000 Sons referenced anywhere, it's always been like, yeah, we're just magic. Does that inherently make them evil? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Necrons never started as Egyptians, they started as Terminators. Really? That is an interesting piece of lore and tidbit. I mean, they kind of got like the Egyptian motif with like the scarabs and stuff like that. The 1,000 Sons got it like in spades. The space nerds that got bullied by space wolves. I mean, if I was getting bullied by, you know, space marine jocks, I think I would take up witchcraft too, quite frankly. Rum rum. Okay. Oh shit! I gotta put some like little. I gotta put some glue in a little bit in here just to make sure it fixes properly. Okay. Salamanders are good. That's what everybody says to me. Like, I've seen, like, pretty much any time there's like Space Marine discourse in my comments, it's always like, ugh, Ultramarines suck. Ugh, the fucking, these guys are the best. But then anytime the Salamanders are brought up, it's just, I think they're neat. Like, nobody has anything bad to say about the Salamanders, and I think that really speaks volumes to them. Good for them. And good for me. The original Necron models are hilarious. Oh, I bet. I mean, original any models are ridiculous. Like, I've seen the original, like, Gene Stealer cult models where they're all fucking, like, mafia pimps in their own battle limo. That's what we need to bring back. We need some staunch anti-capitalist messaging in our future war game again. They actually gave half a crap about civilians. Oh, is that why people don't like them? Zing. Not zing? What am I talking about? What the fuck am I talking about? I have something bad to say about the Salamanders. No! Something Eldar child. Oh, who hasn't murdered a child in this universe? I feel like that's fairly par for the course. Listen, if we're going to judge Space Marines on their war crimes, nobody wins. Nobody wins. Have you seen original model Magnus? He doesn't really hold up. Oh god. I will Google that. I will Google that because I think the current model Magnus is like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with Magnus the Red. Like, the Thousand Suns are so alien to me that it's like I just have no idea what they're going on. Like, each one of their things feels like so disparate from each other. I have no idea what the through line is. Like, they've got, like, what the fuck is a rubric marine? What's that supposed to mean? Why is Magnus red? Why does he have giant blue wings? Why can they go into battle with Zangors or Xanagors or like fucking like furry bird people with guns? Like what are they doing? Rubric marine equals dust inside a suit. And listen, the Warhammer community hasn't been making this any easier for me. Like I can't tell whether people are like joking and memeing or being like this is real. This is what they are. Magnus equals magicals in each boy. That doesn't mean anything. Magnus's nibble horns are peak fashion. Yeah, now you're just fucking with me. Now you're just fucking with me. The through line is being a fucking. I feel like I'm going insane, quite frankly. Voicing for you. Okay. Everyone's just saying shit at me and being like, yeah, that's real. I feel like I'm being gaslit. This is what it feels like to talk to an Australian. Just never knowing whether anything that comes out of their mouth is real or true. My god, is this the cruelty that I subject to other people? Rubric was the name. Rubric is a curriculum! It's a school curriculum! Words have meaning! We can't just say they mean other things! Rubric is it's a fucking set of like rules or like mentality of which way someone is judged. I think. You know, you set out a rubric and then. Oh, I'm fully like holding this model like completely off camera while I'm trying to glue it together. I just realized. Is this too small? Like, it doesn't feel like it's really connecting in the right place that it's supposed to be. What I'm trying to do is like steel jaw mandible thing there. Well, if everyone's saying it. Rubric Marine's just dust inside a suit. Well, everyone says that about Burrows, so. Oh, good gravy. Okay, there's mandibles there. Now I need pieces 53 and 54 to be like shoulder plates for him. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold off because he's got like little scrap plates to put on his shoulders. But I think I might see if I can kitbash that anyway. Basically, they're super wizards whose body... Okay. Super wizards. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to do to sell me on it. Yarrick was killed by Angron and Orc War Boss, making him the biggest... Oh, Jesus. Poor guy. I know going up against Angron can't be... That can't be a good prospect for anyone. Okay, okay, I need 2 pieces, 59 and 58. So I can build this last orc. Well, thankfully, his pieces are really easy to find, because there's only one Squighog orc left to build. Coping for Magnus's eye. What does that mean? That is one thing that, like... that is one, like, I've read a little bit of the Horus Heresy, and I think it's in, like, the second book, where Horus is having his, like, you know, nightmarish vision of, like, futures yet to come to pass, and it's like, look, the Emperor will betray you and ascend to godhood, and then Magnus appears in the dream, and he's like, no, Horus, you're being lied to. You have to trust me. And then he's like, how the fuck are you in my dream? It's witchcraft, don't worry about it. It's like, hey, I'm not gonna listen to you anymore because you're doing witchcraft. But you're also doing witchcraft. Yes, but I'm doing it in a cool way. I don't think that makes any sense, but it makes sense in my head. I thought Yarrick died of old age. Good. Oh, that's right. Yarrick's that guy. He's that human guy that Gazgul loves. They're like homies, aren't they? Homie. Okay, how am I gonna... Okay, so I'm gonna glue this guy down here. In fact, this time I'm gonna put the glue straight on the saddle rather than on the orc's butt. Because I feel like that'll get a bit more hold this time. Wow, that glue smells. Ooh, look at that. That's perfect stick. Perfect stick right there. Read a little bit of the Horus Heresy could mean I read an article or I read 12 books. I've only read 8, thank you very much. I am up to Mechanicum, and I am intending to read that. Ooh, this arm goes really well on there, actually. See, the problem is I like putting new weapons on you know, the models that I build, but the weapons of this set are like so cool by default that I almost don't want to like, I almost want to use like the default ones because they're just like that rad. Can I like put, again, having an extra arm here would be great. Ow. Just whacking shit left and right. Actually, could I maybe find... Because I've got a couple of, like... Okay. Mechanicum is peak? Okay, so I should read the next book, is what you're telling me. Maybe I will. Mostly because I have, like, a couple of Audible credits that I need to use. Okay. Okay, I think I think I have some options here. So I can like put this arm in this socket, which that's absolutely not on camera. Good God. So if we put this arm in this socket, and I think if I take this axe arm, I just spat all over my hand, but that's fine. If I took this arm and like cut the hand off, I think I might just have enough real estate to glue it into the second hand position there. Actually, let me see if I can do it on this one instead. No, I think it's a little bit far away. I think it has to be this one. Okay. So I'm gonna try this. It's gonna completely destroy this arm, but let me give it a shot. I like mech boys. I've been leaning more towards the mech boys. Like, I'm warming to them. Oh God, this guy's wrist is thick. Okay, chipping away, carving through the plastic. So sorry to whoever arm this was before. You will be something new and beautiful soon, I hope. I feel like I'm doing surgery. I'm doing surgery while also trying not to, like, completely, like, cut into my own hand at the same time. Because knowing me, I would do that. Okay. You have to join a Chaos Legion. Who are you picking? Empress Children. Because Oh. I'm getting a notification saying that my phone is overheating. Hmm. Well, I'll very quickly, like, dust this guy up then. If my phone's overheating, that's probably not good. Probably, I say. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm not entirely convinced that it will. But if it does, I'm going to be very happy. Woo, Slanesh. I mean, I just like, you know, I just think Fulgrim's an interesting character. You know what I mean? Okay. Might need some super glue for this, just for some extra hold. Actually, no, I don't want to use super glue for this because I feel like I'm going to need some flexibility. Oh god, this might have been doomed from the start, actually. I might have been doomed by the narrative. Yeah, those arms are kind of wonky. I don't think they're going to fit. But I've come this far, so I'm going to give it a shot. Just awkwardly trying to stretch plastic. Let's put that there. Nah, I don't think the arms are going to fit. Like, I can kind of get it there, but the second arm just is simply too small. Like, I'm trying to illustrate what I mean, but like, yeah, look at that. Unless, yeah, like if I stretch the arm back there, then like the shoulder's completely out of place. So yeah, the models, the arms are just simply the wrong size. Like, I'm not gonna be able to. Yeah, like unless his shoulder is like so low that it's disconnecting from his body, like that's just not gonna do it. All right, but you know what? That's fine. I'll find some like arms to like properly put on him there. But I might have to do that another time, or I might have to do it off camera because my phone is giving me warnings saying that it is dangerously hot because it has been live and streaming for over 2 hours. So I think I'm going to use that as a point to call it there and give it a little bit of a break. I love how your nails are always in the state of. I love how your nail polish is always in the state of chipping. I don't mean it to be. I just live my life. And it chips naturally. So yeah, in any case though, thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out while I've, you know, built some of these little squig riders. I've had an absolute blast building them here with you. Like, I'm so happy with how some of these turned out. And I'm going to be happy with how he turns out, however he turns out to be. But yeah, I'll do that at a time when my phone isn't yelling at me that it's about to explode. So, for the time being, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, a wonderful Sunday afternoon, and have a great rest of your day. Because I'm gonna do it, and if you don't do it, then I'm gonna be sad about that. So do it for me, or else. That was the wettest blinking noise from me I think I've ever heard. Alright. Have a good one, gang.